Today, I want to talk about the importance of doing a proper warm-up before you exercise. Warm-ups are one of the most overlooked aspects of exercise, but they're perhaps one of the most important when you look at exercise over the long haul. Because what warm-ups do is they get your circulation system pumping better, they get you primed and ready mentally and physically to perform better during exercise, and they prevent you from getting injured, which is one of the worst things that can happen because injuries end up sidelining you. You can't exercise for weeks and months, or maybe you have to avoid stuff because you always have these nagging pains. Well, warm-ups can help fix all of that. And we have a lot of videos here on our Fit Father and Fit Mother YouTube channels that go over specific stretching routines and foam rolling that you can do for your upper and lower body before exercise. I'll link those below in the description. But in today's video, I want to give you a more simple take on how I think about and approach warm-ups with 3 simple steps. The first step to a good warm-up, I believe, is to get your cardiovascular system increased and get some body heat by doing some simple cardio for like 5 minutes. And when I say simple cardio, this could be something like jumping rope, running or jogging on a treadmill, using an elliptical, using a rowing machine, even doing some jumping jacks, or even just bouncing up and down like this. Something that's going to get that heart to pump a little bit, get that heart rate up slightly, and build some heat in the body. That's what we want to do as we're going into exercise. We want to be warm. And this is why you see any of these fighters or their boxers, they're always trying to stay warm in their corner because those muscles are loose and fluid. We always want to be warm before we're going into exercise, because if you think about it like the analogy of your connective tissue being like taffy, you can pull taffy when it's cold and it'll rip, but when it's warm, it'll stretch. And it's very similar to some of our connective tissues. We want to get the blood flow. So step number 1, some light cardiovascular activity for like 5 minutes. Step number 2, I believe, is to go through your entire body head to toe and move all of your major joints. So if we look at the head, right, we have this head that's kind of like on this 360-degree swivel. I think it's good just to start here and do neck circles in both directions. Let's just move the neck in its natural range of motion, side to side, front to back. Just move it, even for like 10-15 seconds. What we're doing is we're lubricating this joint, and it's actually increasing some hyaluronic acid and some other fluids in here that makes the movement more smooth and really just lubricates for exercise. When we get to the shoulders too, we can start to do shoulder circles, big and small. And as you're doing that big shoulder arc all the way through, I want you to contract all the muscles and feel your shoulder move forwards and backwards, just shoulder circles for maybe even 30 seconds. Do it together, but as you're moving, move very intentionally throughout the whole range of motion. And I recommend you do this right now as you're watching this, whether it's on your phone or on a desktop or laptop computer. Start to move your shoulders, big circles, and really feel that. And even just doing this a few times gets that joint in your nervous system's connection to that joint reestablished and gets it ready to exercise. And you can go ins and outs if you want on the shoulder. Now, I also want you to pull and push away from your body. Work in this plane of motion. What I'm trying to show you is as we're doing this like this, the body has many planes of motion it can move in based on both the spinal axis and the actual joints themselves. So this is a ball and socket joint, so it moves in a circle. Well, our spine can also flex and extend like back and forth like this. So if we do this, we're getting that spine ready. And this is very similar to how you've seen people do yoga poses like cat-cow, right? Where you're pushing out and you're coming in. Well, just doing this a few times gets that spine ready. Now we're on the hips. You can do hip circles. You can stretch out to one side. You can hear some cracks and some pops as you're moving. Even doing this for a few minutes is this whole little total body assessment is connecting your nervous system to each of these joints on top of the fact that you've done a little bit of cardio, you're getting prep for exercise. To the knees, you bend these things, you put your hands on your knees, you move some circles, and finally you get down to your ankles and do the same thing. Move them up, move them in circles. That took I did a very quick version of this for you, but it takes like 2 minutes. But what we did is we moved every joint effectively through its natural range of motion. I forgot the elbows too, right? Elbows extend, flex. And oftentimes when you do this, you'll hear some creaks and some pops. That's an okay thing as long as there's no pain. It's getting that joint ready for exercise. Move our joints just a little bit. So that's step 2. We do the head to toe joint movement, and you're gonna find there's certain areas of your body you feel like you may need a little more attention on. That's step 3. Each of us has a unique body with past injury history, or stuff that just gets tight on us uniquely. Spend some time in step 3 on the particular area that oftentimes may give you pain, and do some more foam rolling or massage or more mobility on it. So if you have shoulder pain, you might want to take a foam roller or a massage ball and work out this whole shoulder area, and then maybe do some more circles and maybe do some more band work. If you have knee problems, you might want to put your hands on your knees and then roll out your quads and your hamstrings with a foam roller, and maybe just grab that joint, press it, and extend it a little bit more. Focus in step 3 on the specific area that's right for you. And if you do this, you're going to be very prepped and ready for exercise. Any of our metabolic workouts, here on the channel, the ones that involve the dumbbells and kettlebells and are doing all the good strength training motions in a fast circuit style fashion, this is a sufficient warm-up for doing all of that because we kind of build in warm-ups into those workouts. If then you're gonna go and do some actual strength training for muscle building where you're doing a big heavy set and resting, you're also gonna wanna do some warm-up sets for that particular exercise. So if you're gonna go, let's just say, do a deadlift with 200 pounds, you wouldn't necessarily wanna go straight to 200 pounds. First, you might do a little bit with the bar, then you'll put on the 45s for 135 pounds, then you might do 185 for 2 reps, and then you'll go to 200 pounds. So this means you still will build in warm-up sets if you're doing heavy weight training, but for basically any other kind of exercise, what we just did with a little bit of cardio, assessing each joint is sufficient. Warm-ups are so important. Don't skip this because ultimately it can lead to a lot of injury and you're just gonna perform better and feel better when you're warmed up. And what I also recommend you do is while you're warming up is breathe through your nose. Your nose is really amazing. It is the main aspect that our bodies are designed to take oxygen in. And when you breathe through your nose, there are cells in your nose that sense that air coming in and they release something called nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is this vasodilator. It opens up all of your cardiovascular system, your arteries, your veins. It gives you a better pump all through breathing through your nose. So if you breathe through your nose during your warm-up, you're gonna get better circulation. You're gonna have nitric oxide just pumping through your body. You're ready to go. You're mentally primed. You're gonna have a great workout. So that's a simple tip for you today. Use this 3-step process. Step number 1, cardiovascular activity just for a little bit. Whatever you have access to. It can be as simple as bouncing up and down just like this. Step 2, head to toe. We're gonna move every joint just a little bit. Look for those creaks and that pops. Move everything through a full range of motion. Assess what feels right on you. And then step number 3, any area that does feel particularly tight or if you have a problem area, zone in on that. Use some kind of foam roller, massage ball, your hand, any kind of like tool to really press and loosen that area a little bit, and then you can proceed to exercise. Hope you found this valuable, my friend. I'm super happy you're here, and I hope you did find this helpful. And I want to invite you also to check out all the other amazing stuff on our Fit Father Project and Fit Mother Project websites, our blogs, our YouTube channels, our podcasts, and all the different articles we have. We have literally thousands of great resources for you that are absolutely free. And I also want to invite you to check the description below because there's going to be some free meal plans and some free workouts that can get you started, as well as links to our full-blown paid programs if you want to become a member of the Fit Father Project or the Fit Mother Project. Thanks for being here, my friend. I'll see you soon.